And I want to first recognize the efforts of the gentlemen who have been introduced to you, because honestly, without their efforts, there is no way that we will be here in front of you again. And I also want to give this opportunity to say thank you to them, and really and truly what they have done, what they have sacrificed in order for these boys, for this trophy to be in this room today, cannot be. The players are sitting in front of you as well, and there's a giant trophy who's in the middle of the room. That there's a story behind it where we are going inside a tournament where Senegal are traditionally the powerhouses in our zone, in terms of they were the current champions in fact, and for the last 3 occasions they've actually reached the final of the U20 Cup of Nations, which is where we are just about to go. In 2015 they were the hosts, they lost the final against Nigeria. In 2017 they went to Zambia, they again lost that final, and also in the last edition in Niger they eventually lost our final on penalties to Mali, which are another team in our zone. So when you have the powerhouses of Senegal coming to meet their younger brothers, I would say, the Gambia, the traditional Wafu trophy, if you can recall, was not the one that you see in front of you there. It was probably half that size, and the story behind it was that the Senegalese were so confident, so full of expectation, that they were the ones to win the trophy, that they decided to go and shop and present the one that's sitting there. But us Gambians, I think we had another plan for them, and this was the result of the work of these players. Everybody will know the story. The first game was a very dark day for us. It's noted that most of us, if not all of us, didn't go to bed that night. We're not able to sleep because we full well knew that to have a result like that was not acceptable in any manner, shape or form. But I'm sure that anybody who watched that game will understand that a game where a home team is awarded 3 penalties and there's another one as well for us, and we also received the red card, that's not a normal game of football. I don't think that happens at many levels in world football. But despite that, the boys were able to rise up, and as a team we had messages from back home, from our friends, our families, to step up. We had our next game against Sierra Leone, which was a match we had to win simply to get through to the semi-finals. As I said, we forgot about that first result. We worked on the training ground. The boys were positive. The boys kept that spirit. And thanks to the help of the Almighty, we were able to overcome our Sierra Leone counterparts. In terms of the challenge that faced us then, playing a team like Guinea, again a traditional powerhouse in West African football, especially in our zone. They had won all of their matches in the group stage by then. They were also the top scorers of the tournament, and they were the overwhelming. And I can only, again, recognize the efforts in terms of playing a team like Guinea. And again, looking at the analysis of that game, and even what the commentators were saying, even what my Guinean counterpart was saying, that truly Gambia, you dominated that match from overcoming that first result and then going all the way to the final. I was asked before the final, who do I want, which is my choice. I explained that Senegal is playing Guinea-Bissau, and there is no choice. Senegal are going to go to the final, and that's who we are expecting. They are the host country, and we know that they will do everything possible to make sure that they come to face the Gambia in the final, and that came to that. They are for winning. And I'm sure some of them will recall my word, these boys, Senegalese, were full of expectation that they were going to be crowned champions that day. Our boys arrived into the stadium without any fear, and from the first whistle you can see their commitment and you can see their determination to make sure that we were the ones. It was a fantastic game. We know the quality of the Senegalese. They came back not once. We also managed to get a second goal, but they came back to equalize. Then we go through to the extra time period and all the difficulties there. We even lost a man. It came to the penalty shootout. Lamin Saidi, please stand up. I mentioned to him that there was a philosophy we had to change the goalkeeper before a penalty shootout because it's a psychological tactic in coaching. But I explained to him that today we don't want to do that. We don't have to do that because we know your abilities. His response to me was, "Coach, it will be fine, thank you. Sit down." It's always dramatic. The Senegalese were the first to lose their penalty. Lamin came up with a save, and then we had the opportunity to win the match. Unfortunately, we hit the bar. They scored their next penalty, and then we were the ones who actually missed our penalty, where if the Senegalese, if they scored their next one, they will be the ones going to the U20 penalty of the Senegalese player. And then we had a chance to go ahead, and then it was just left for one kick for the Senegalese, and the player hit the post, and we emerged as the champions of the WAFU Zone A Under 20. In every other zone, it's the finalists, 2 finalists who qualify for the Under 20 Africa Cup of Nations. But because Mauritania were the hosts for this next Under 20, there was only 1 ticket reserved for our zone. The Senegalese wanted it, the Malians wanted it, the Guineans wanted it, but Alhamdulillah, it's the Gambians, we are the ones who have it. And we're going to Mauritania now representing our zone, because we know all those countries, normally they would take part, and normally they would all want to be there. But it's with immense pride and satisfaction that we are the ones who are going to represent our country, our zone within West Africa, and I have no doubt that with the support and with the continued goodwill and positivity that's being displayed in them, simply by having an audience with you, to see you walk into the room, I know has filled them with that pride and that boost to do even more. In 2018 in Liberia, and those thoughts were in our mind. Your Excellency, you should know, before we came for this tournament, one of my assistant coaches who was here before, actually mentioned to me, we want to go to State House again. Yes, they're very good, very good. The message is, if you keep on winning, you will always be coming to State House. So long may it continue, and it's for me, it's a beautiful story. These players, they are my heroes, and honestly, what they've achieved for their country and what they've achieved for me as a coach, we are stood here with full of humble thanks, looking forward to the future, looking forward to the next tournament, and I'm sure with the continued support and the message that I'm sure no doubt you'll give us, we will fly from here to Mauritania. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow, the Secretary General, Head of the Civil Service, Mr. Noha Toure. It was nearly 3 years ago when we met on this very spot on the same agenda, presenting the trophy that our young, talented players would have won in a zonal competition, the Under 20. 2018, it was Liberia, and 2020 was in Senegal. These wouldn't have been achieved without collective efforts. Thus, I want to thank my colleagues at the Football Federation, the coach and his team of technicians and administrators, from the head of delegation to the team manager, and the players in particular, for really listening to the instructions of the coach and the team of technicians and apply what they have put into them to be able to be here today. Additionally, Your Excellency, we also want to appreciate the support, the collaboration, and always the solidarity of our brothers and sisters at the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Sports Council. We've enjoyed very cordial relationship with the ministry and its satellite institution. That's our main focal point, Sports Council, over the past 2 years. Hence, the successes that we are consistently registering recently. The under-20 and the other youth groups, the under-17, you must be aware, is also getting ready to participate in a similar tournament, which also will be held in Senegal, though not official announced. So it was scheduled for Sierra Leone, but there are some concerns with the MRI machine because CAF doesn't take the issue of age lightly when it comes to that category of players. We want to have the right ages to compete at the competition. Thus, the need for the required MRI machine. And our brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone have some concern, and now it's been decided that it will be moved to Senegal and a couple of our feeder teams. Because if we don't have the right nursery, know the importance of nurseries in farming. Therefore, our main target and vision since we assumed office is to work on the junior teams, the grassroots, the youth teams from the schools to the under-17. It has been a long process. The beginning has never been easy. We are today, and there's no doubt teams, which is a flagship team for the country. Your Excellency, once again, whilst appreciating the efforts and support of government to support the Federation in matters of national teams in general. As I said, we cannot appreciate more of the support so far. But still, we are yearning for more. Because these gentlemen sitting before us are also classified as national teams. They have their younger brothers also under 17. And they have another one which is a little bit above them under 23. And these are available also in the female categories. So quite often when we talk about national teams, we only concentrate on the senior national teams. You really want Your Excellency's continued support and extra support to the Ministry of Youth and Sports so that these categories of the national teams also will be considered and taken care of by the government. Notwithstanding, we are very much appreciative of the financial constraints of government as a third world country with other priorities, especially with the social sector. But despite the fact, we still think that these young men and women who have already taken up the challenge to represent their country in football, which we know is no longer joy and just for fitness. It's a big enterprise, and it can employ a good chunk of the youth, those alleviating the government of that big burden of unemployment in the youth. Your Excellency, going by the statistics we have today, the senior national team coach has on his list 110 young men across the globe, among which maybe have only 3 or 4 who are locally based players. These are all Gambians playing across the world, from Senegal to Korea, across the Atlantic to the United States of America. Any of them could be recalled to play for the senior national team. And all those people in professional football, playing professional football in wherever they are, contributes to the remittances that accrue to our country and supporting our economic base. So therefore, government in investing in the youth, especially football, which is by all indications the #1 sport in this country. So as I said, the signals and the signs from the minister, brother Mr. Baji, are very encouraging and very positive. And I'm sure you'll also continue to give me your support, so that, because otherwise, some of our objectives will not be met. Maintaining national teams are very exorbitant. And aside the support that we have from government, our only source of income is FIFA subvention. And those are tailor-made for specific areas. Quite often we find it very difficult to justify spending excessively on the national teams of various categories, whilst sacrificing other very important football development programs. But it's very clear they are also appreciative of the concerns of African countries, these are third world countries, the challenges that we face. as a country in terms of our resource base. So, and as I said, this also really impact negatively on other programs. Another area that also the GFF also, in addition to our other programs, is the infrastructure. We want to commend the laudable initiative of your government recently initiating development of football grounds or sports grounds across the country. This will not only alleviate the burden on the GFF, as you speak now, even yesterday as you speak, by this time I signed 3 contracts for the rehabilitation of 3 parks, including Banjul, Manjai, and Serekunda West, each of them to the tune of over $8 million. And 2 weeks ago, we signed another one for Bakau, Brikama, and then Busumbara, Gunju, and these are, each of them, there's no project less than $8 to $9 million, and these are only to do with the pitches, the perimeter fence, and maybe dressing rooms and public toilets. As faces, you don't talk about pavilions.
The president of the Gambia Football Federation, Mr. Barrow, and director of programs and planning, Mr. Sutejao, and to the delegation that is here, the Gambia Under 20. I say greetings to all of you. Both the team, the coach, the team manager, and everyone who is part of the technical team. And to our friends here from the media, of course, the Director of Press and Public Relations of the Office of the President is here. I think mine is going to be very short because the President will probably be the one who is going to talk more because, yes, it is our event, but we're doing it at his place, and it's more of him calling us here to make a presentation, ask a donation of some sort or a bonus, a cash bonus that has been given to the Under 20 for the victory that we all registered in Dakar 2 months ago. I must say that we should have done this event earlier. That is when the team came back victorious from Senegal, but there were a lot of events that were happening at the time. In fact, the day the team came back, there was a wish by the President to receive you here at the State House. But it also coincided with one of the cabinet meetings that the President has to preside over, and that's what kept him busy. And then thereafter, the President and some of us were on the nationwide tour, and that was a whole month, and it took part of the time of the President. But we have been always engaging with him, and he has pledged that after the tour, we will definitely organize this meeting, and the Under 20 will come over to State House to present the trophy to him, but he will in turn have an amount of $2 million that he is going to present to the team as a sign of appreciation to the National Under 20 team and the technicians that have gone with them. Now, this is a victory, or it was a victory for the Gambia. Of course, anytime you go out to play, you're there fighting so hard and putting in a lot of energy to win. And when you win, the victory is ours. And that is how the Gambian population have welcomed the victory that the Under 20 registered. And that's why when you came back here, you see the amount of welcome that you received. Now, personally, I met almost the team, all of you, a day before you went when I came over at the Independence Stadium that evening, and I did have an interaction with you. The task was difficult, but to us, all we wanted was for you to go and win. And I did remember saying that go out there, represent Gambia, and come home and bring us the trophy. And that's what exactly you did. And of course, I also made a pledge that if you get to the finals, I would come and witness the final. And I did fulfill that promise. I remember a day before we came to Dakar, we were in Tendaba. The President was launching the electrification in Quinala. And I went to him and I said, I want permission to go to Senegal tomorrow to witness the final of the Under 20. And he gave me permission, but he asked the question, will Gambia win in Senegal? And I told the president, well, we are hopeful that we are going to win. He said it has never happened. No, the last time it happened was many years ago. Senegal will always defeat Gambia in Senegal. And he said, but he's wishing us well. And I said, that's exactly what we need. Wish us well, and we will bring the trophy. And happy that Gambia indeed went on to win Senegal, inside Senegal, at the surprise of not just Senegal, but the continent in general. But what gave us the results is the kind of teamwork that we all saw in your training camps, the teamwork that we all saw even on that day of the final. It was a difficult game, playing inside Senegal with almost no Gambian fans and quite a number of things against the Gambian team. But you people held your head high and just focus on the prize. And that's what we will also encourage you. As you move out here to go to Mauritania, we want you to maintain the same discipline that you maintained in Senegal, maintain the same teamwork, and be dedicated, focus on the prize. And we are sure you will come out victorious. Playing in Senegal is always difficult. You met them at the beginning. The defeat was very unpleasant. A surprising 5-1, but the same team you met in the final, and you defeated them. So that means there is no team that can stand in front of Gambia, even as you move out. And a few days ago, when the draw came out, even on the media, the headline is Gambia finds itself in a tough group because of the ones that we are going to compete in our group. But if you're able to win big teams in Senegal, we're sure you should be able to do the same thing in Mauritania. So, like I said, I do not want to make a very long speech, but I want to assure you as the under-20 and all the other teams that the government, under the leadership of President Barrow, is very committed to supporting youth and sports, because we know that this is one key area that creates employment, that reduces crime, but it's also a venture that can be able to change lives of individuals and their families and the community. And we've seen that happen. You look at the amount of players who are outside and the amount of foreign exchange that they bring into this country, you would want to encourage government to invest more. And that is exactly what the government is doing. So yes, in the recent past, we have seen a lot of mini-stadiums being launched. There has been Youth Revolving Fund that was launched recently by the president in Banjul. And there are so many activities that are done. All of this is initiated by the president of Barrow, mainly to ensure that young people get out from the things, the social vices that we are in, and go venture into areas that can be able to change our lives and change the lives of communities. So just one thing, I know when we started putting up these mini stadiums, we've seen some comments. People saying, oh, why is government investing so much money in the stadiums? But probably it's a lack of knowledge, because sports is one of the biggest enterprises that anyone wants to involve in. It's the biggest enterprise that a government can invest, and you're sure that one individual can change his life and change the life of his community. So we want to encourage you to make this your career, be serious, go out there, and when you win the under-20, even if you get to the semi-final, in the minimum, that qualifies you to the World Cup. And that's where all these scouts are going to be. And nobody knows how many of you can be scouted and be contracted to play in teams at the international level. So our best wishes to you, and again, encourage you to focus on the prize and be victorious in Mauritania once you're there next month. Once again, thank you very much, Your Excellency, for having accorded this. I think it's just an arrangement that we did in the few days, and we told him now everything is ready, and he's also able to meet you and welcome you at the State House, and hopefully we will do the same thing in March when you come back from Mauritania. All the best.
Our brave coach and the technician, the players and everyone. We have fulfilled our promise to the Honorable Minister the day he came to the stadium after the test match against the Gambia under-23 before we depart for the WAFU tournament in Senegal. That we will go out there and bring the trophy home, and that's exactly what we did, with the help of Allah and our coaches. And we are here by promising the whole Gambia that we are going to Mauritania for the AFCON to compete and bring the trophy home, inshallah. and the flag of the Gambia will always be going higher and higher and higher. As I'm talking on behalf of the players and on behalf of my captain, James Gomez, who's supposed to be here but unfortunately cannot make it. We want to seize this opportunity to thank you for your kind gesture, and this is a great encouragement and motivations to us and to entire Gambian football. May you live long, Mr. President. Jerejef Gambia Chakaw Chakanam. And we are also very happy and delighted to be here, for these presentations. We wish this continues, and inshallah it will continue. We are thanking you for the support and the gesture you did for us. We are so happy about it. And then, inshallah, we are going to Mauritania for the AFCON tournament. We'll try by all means, and then we get AFCON here again. May you live long, President, and thank you very much for the support. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, Marcel Mendy, Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Bakari Baji, Deputy Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Your Excellency the President of the Gambia Football Association, Master of Ceremony, the team coach, the technician, Pasware, and the team, that is the under 20. It's a great pleasure and an honor to receive you again in State House. I hope that this will continue going forward. Mr. Baji, you say you will not talk long, but I think our philosophy is actions speak louder than words. We don't want to talk much. If you want to work, I think if you work hard, you will get reward. You will get rewarded, definitely. I will seize this opportunity to congratulate the team, to congratulate the technicians, the President Gambia Football Association, the ministry, and the entire Gambian people. I think you have made us proud. You have raised the Gambian flag high. It is always sweet to win, but it's sweeter against Senegal. I am a big fan of football. I follow football despite with my busy schedule, but I create time to watch football. I even watched the match that you played in the final, but I was not very comfortable knowing the history between Gambia and Senegal. But you did very well. You were committed. You were patient. You were disciplined. And the most important thing was self-belief. I think if you have that kind of thing, as a team, the sky is the limit. My word of wisdom to this team and the technician and the president will want us to maintain this team going forward. This team, we are proud of you. You are very important to us, but maintaining you become a senior team for the Gambia, I think that is very, very important. He mentioned about if you don't have a good nursery, you will not have good crops. I think I agree with that. We should all work together as a team, that is the Ministry, Football Association and the technicians, so that we can support this team. But I want to assure the Minister and the President that our commitment to youth and sports is very strong. The political will to make sure we improve sports in this country is very, very strong. I can inform you here, since I came to power in 2017, I tried to get this levy for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It took me over 2 years to be innovative enough to get this levy for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Mr. President of the GFA, he was a former minister. He knows how government works. Government have processes, they have procedures, how to do things. And it's not easy when you are in government, because we come from a third world country. Our resources are very, very limited. We work on a very tight budget to do things. And institutions are competing among themselves. Every area is a priority to government. Health, education, agriculture, sports, these are all very, very important to us. So they compete with limited resources. But we want to assure the President that our support is 100%. We want this to be part of our legacy. And if you want a good legacy, you have to work hard for it. And with the boys doing very well, I think the Secretary General here, we will work harder again to make sure we support you, maintain this team, to make sure that you produce the results for us. But as young boys, don't be overexcited, don't be carried away by sentiments, remain whom you are, be committed to this job. It's a professional job, it's a noble job, and it's a big enterprise. One of you can make a huge difference for this country. One of you can definitely raise the flag of the Gambia very high. We have seen footballers that have done that. George Weah in Liberia, I think he was the only player who became the best player in the world. George Weah. We have Abidi Pele, Samuel Eto'o, he became second best in the world. So there is no doubt we can do it. It's not the size of the country that matters, but what you are able to do for your country. What we are able to do as a country, that is the most important thing. That is important for us, so let us maintain our confidence. And I will also advise you, go to Mauritania, maintain your discipline, that self-belief, work together, not as individuals, but as a team. I will emphasize that as a team. Team football is important. Teamwork is important. Whether it's a football team, whether it's a country, or whatever you are doing in life, teamwork is very, very important. The individual doesn't matter when it comes to team. I think it's the team that matters. Work as a team, you can make a difference for us. Mr. President, I congratulate you. I think this will be part of your legacy. During your presidency, you were able to win Senegal, inside Senegal. I think this is very important. This is part of our record. We will put this in our archives. After the match, I think after 2 days, I spoke to the president in Senegal. He congratulated the Gambia, and we joke over it. So this is important. Go work hard. You will be in the State House again. I promise you. So thank you very much. We encourage you to remain whom you are. Be committed to the job you are doing. It's a profession. It's a big profession. It's a big market. You can make a difference for this country. I remind you again, teamwork. Work together with each other. You are representing your country. And that is the most important thing. You are representing Gambia. And this is national duty. National duty is everybody's business. National duty is everybody's business. You are playing football. Others are ministers. Others are permanent secretaries. Others are secretary general. Combined together, we work for this country. And I see no reason why we will not succeed if we are committed and we are together and we work in the interest of this country. I thank everybody, the president, the president, the ministry, the technical team. I think you have a very good technical team listening to the coach. We don't need always to call on foreign coaches. If we have our Gambian coach, I think that is very, very important. That kind of self-belief is very important moving forward. The coaches also will see how best government will support you, to train you more so that we don't need to go and look for a foreign coach. Because winning this trophy today is a Gambian coach. So that means that we have technicians who can do it. So I congratulate you and wish you all the best going to Mauritania. Thank you.
dafa juddu ak mayam li mu noon kenn jàngalu ko